What's going on, gamers? This is DBMgamer here. So Bungie just released their weekly update, and I want to cover that, as well as a celebrity has returned to the tower, a couple of interesting Twitter accounts, and I want to touch base on some of the game reviews that are going around about Destiny. And while we're covering all these topics, I'm going to run the daily heroic with just one person. We're going to see how we do with this. But before we can get into all of that, I've got to get to my shoutouts. My shoutouts is how I show appreciation to the community that has gotten me this far. And I want to give shoutouts to CJL Sniper, Jamaican B Bala, Real, Catfinder 3000, Roland Dadley, 1989 Etnies, Tommy Salazzo, Deviana Morales, James Cunning, and Brandon Horton. So first and foremost, what I want to get out of the way is Zur has actually returned to the tower. He is probably going to be there for just 2 days. It's the rotation he was on last time. And this time he's actually changed locations. He's over there by the giant gyroscope, which is close by the speaker. Just go to the entrance of where you would go to the speaker and just pull a 180 and you'll see him. And that's not all. Not only has he changed locations, he's also carrying a few different pieces of gear. Among the ones that I really want to get my hands on is Gallahorn, the rocket launcher. This thing is so sexy. So moving on, Bungie released their weekly update, and they're just talking about basically the statistics of what has occurred across this first week of play. Now, overall, roughly 100 million hours have been played in Destiny. And yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of people logging a lot of time. And they said that actually 137 million activities have been played, and that's counting missions, individual Crucible matches, side missions, strikes, everything. And that's quite an achievement as well. Now, if that wasn't enough, the average gameplay session also lasts about 3 hours, but on the first weekend, people tend to spend a little more time, and the average play session runs for 4 hours. Now, moving right along, the Vault of Glass opened up Monday, and the first team that wanted to get in there and knock it out was a clan that goes by the name of PrimeGuard. Now, I've known of PrimeGuard for quite a while now because I've run in a lot of different circles in the Destiny communities, and their mission statement was that they were going to be the very first ones to beat the Vault of Glass. And what it appears that they did was they organized a few different teams on a few different platforms. And even though I was watching the stream of the guys that were on PlayStation 4, it looks like the guys on PlayStation 3 were the first ones that got through it. So I definitely want to tip my hat to PrimeGuard, anybody in PrimeGuard. You know, congratulations to you guys. Now, looking at the statistics of what is it going to take to actually beat the Vault of Glass, you're going to have to really be prepared for it, and also be prepared to die a lot. The team that actually made it through only pulled through with an average KD of about a 3.5. That's pretty low considering the fact that when you go on an average mission, you know, you kill everybody in sight and you maybe drop once, maybe twice, making for a really high KD. So to beat the Vault of Glass, number one, you've got to be determined. Looks like also being high in level is definitely a huge help. The higher you rank, the more damage you can sustain. And I'll cover this myself when I also push through the Vault of Glass, but that's for another time. Now, the next thing that I want to touch upon is there's a couple of interesting Twitter accounts that have popped up in the last week or two for me that I've noticed. One of them being the man himself, the Cryptarch, got on his tablet and guess made him a Twitter account, and he started tweeting. And man, he's got some funny crap to tweet about. You should really check this out if you really want a great laugh. I'll throw up one here that, you know, kind of had me chuckling a little bit. But if that's not all, if you ever take engrams to him, well, the engrams themselves also have a Twitter account. Yes, it's like that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the last thing that I want to touch upon is all these review scores that are floating around. A lot of them I'm seeing are fairly negative. I think by far the worst one being Polygon, only giving it a 6 out of 10. For me, in my opinion, if you really have to quantify the game with a score, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say I would give it a 7.5, maybe a 7.75 out of 10. But bear in mind that the game just literally started. This is a game that has a long-term plan. Okay, there's actually a lot of things that you can do in the game that are not available to us just yet. I'm not sure what Bungie's master plan is, but I do know there are quite a few areas that are actually just right now within the game, but are not open or available to us to play yet. So there's a lot of content actually within Destiny. It's just that Bungie has a timetable and they're planning on sticking to it. Seems like the next thing that's coming down the pipe for us is going to be some Queen's Bounties, which hopefully may let us into a few of these areas that I keep running across. I don't know, but I am looking forward to doing some new activities. But having said that, I feel really strongly about the mechanics that work within Destiny. Like, I really enjoy the gameplay, the gunplay, and the leveling system is really not quite like anything I've ever played before. So all in all, it's a pretty enjoyable experience. But I would recommend definitely bringing a friend if you're planning on playing Destiny. That really helps out with the fun. But I tell you what, to read the review scores of some of these people talking about how Destiny is basically derailed, well, I've got a game for them that I want them to play. My own custom copy of Ghosts and Goblins. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. If you like this type of content, feel free to drop a like or a comment, or if you just want to see more, hit that subscribe button. But as always, have a good one.